Hello and welcome to our sixth form parent expectation evening. Apologies, we haven't been able to get you into school as we would normally, but obviously with everything that's going on with COVID, I thought it'd be easier to just record something for you and share with you the key expectations that we have as sixth form students next academic year, and also a little bit of information about what they are doing with us while they are here over the next 2 weeks. My name's Miss Powell. I'm the assistant head teacher that's in charge of sixth form, and I'll do some introductions of the team in just a second. Okay, so key introductions. We have Mrs. Katori. Mrs. Katori is our head of sixth form. Unfortunately, she's not here at the moment, but she should be back in September. So she's our head of sixth form, and she is the person that coordinates all of the day-to-day sixth form pastoral care. I'm the assistant head teacher that's in charge of sixth form, which means that I do a lot more of the sort of background stuff, but I'm still there on a daily basis to support the students. Then we have got Mrs. Whelan. Mrs. Whelan is our student support manager. And some of you will have been receiving emails from her already. She is the most fantastic person. She is a mental health first aider. She is our wellbeing lead. So not only does she look after the attendance of our students, but she also looks after their wellbeing as well. Finally, we've got Miss Jobson. Miss Jobson is our careers coordinator, and she is the absolute expert in all things careers for our sixth form students. So some of our current year 11s have already been having conversations with Miss Jobson, but she is there across the course of the 2 years to provide careers advice to all of our students and to make sure that they are fully prepared for when they leave our sixth form. So our vision as a sixth form is to develop our students as whole people rather than just developing them as academic students that are just going to get really good grades. So as much as we're supporting them to get those really good grades, we also want them to leave King Henry School feeling like they have developed as a human being. We don't just focus on the grades here. Our key vision is to nurture our students, to develop our students, and to provide them with first-class facilities. So we provide them with private study sessions to increase their independence and their resilience. We develop them through our curriculums. We've got a really broad curriculum here at King Henry, and we have also got a wide range of enrichment activities that students will take part in once a week once they join us in September. And those enrichment activities will then allow them to have qualifications which can support them as we move on. Finally, providing first-class facilities to our students. At the moment, we are increasing the size of our sixth form, so we are looking at how we can further develop our resources and our facilities to support with that as we move on as well. Over the next 2 weeks, as far as I'm concerned, your children now are no longer year 11, they are year 12. I've been calling them year 12 for the whole of yesterday and today. They should be following the same expectations as our current sixth form students do, and that has all been explained to them already in an assembly, which was very similar to this talk that I had with them on Monday morning. With that in mind, they should be arriving at school by 8:45 each day, and they should be arriving at the Limewood Road entrance, which has been perfect up until now, and they should attend all lessons, sessions and enrichment activities. So over the course of the 2 weeks, they have got 2 lessons for each of their subjects across the 2 weeks. They have got sessions that are about well-being. They've got sessions that are about student leadership. They have sessions about organisation, independent learning, and also sessions about careers, all of which are going to be absolutely the most useful things for them as they prepare for their time with us in year 12. The enrichment activities, they've got 4 taster activities across the course of the next 2 weeks to allow them to try 4 of the options that we have here for their enrichment. And then at the end of the enrichment week, the induction fortnight, we will be asking them to choose their final enrichment choice, which will be for next academic year. So they haven't got to make any decisions yet. All we're doing at the moment is giving them the opportunity to try lots of things out. How we do things here, so just to clarify, this is the same as lower school, but we're ready, respectful, safe at all times. Lanyards have to be worn around their necks all the time as well. Some of them like to wear them out of their pockets. We like them around their necks. Headphones and phones should only be used on the top floor of the sixth form block. That is a privilege that is given to sixth form students. So it should only be the top floor of the sixth form block. And if they are seen with their phones or their headphones out anywhere else in the school, they will be confiscated. So please make sure that your children understand that as we're moving forwards. Uniform is under review for next academic year, but as it stands at the moment, students should be in business dress, they should have their lanyards on, and there should be no coats on when they are in school, which is not a problem at all when it is 30 degrees outside. So we haven't had to be concerned about that yet. Attendance, they need to attend school on time. There has to be a parental reason for their absence on RBAR. So in the same way as lower school, if your child isn't in school on a certain day, you need to make sure that you're letting us know why that is. Otherwise, it will go down as unauthorised. They attend all of their lessons. They attend all of their timetabled private study sessions as well, because when they get into sixth form, they have less subjects and less actual lesson time. But what they do have is extra time slots allocated to them to learn and revise independently in preparation for them going into university. So that's what the private study sessions are. We aim for all students to have 95% attendance, and non-attendance can lead to off-roll or non-payment of bursary money. So if a student does not attend school for 40 days, for example, we no longer receive funding for them as a school, and therefore we do need to look at off-rolling that student, so taking that student off-roll. It works slightly differently in sixth form. They don't get permanently excluded necessarily, they don't have to be, because the funding works differently. With regards to enrichment, you will have seen the email that came out from Mrs. Whelan about the enrichment that they are trialling. We have got a really wide range here, all run by really, really exceptional teachers. So we have things like the Arts Award, we've got work experience opportunities, EPQ, the Enterprise Challenge, we've got sports for those students that are sporty. And we also have things like Duke of Edinburgh and Ivy House, where students can really develop as a human being. Like I mentioned in that vision at the beginning, we're not just about producing grades here. We want our students to develop and become better people. At our sixth form, we take wellbeing really, really seriously, especially since lockdowns happened. We've seen a big increase in students that are suffering with poor mental health and poor wellbeing. With that in mind, we run wellbeing sessions during 21C, which are small focus groups for students that are struggling, where we talk about the coping mechanisms that they could use to help support them. And the feedback that we've got from that this academic year has been really positive. Mrs. Whelan is obviously our wellbeing lead. She's also a mental health first aider, so she is fantastic. SF3B, that is our wellbeing room. So we have a room that is set aside in our sixth form block, which is just for students that come to us and say, do you know what, I'm feeling really overwhelmed today, I'm really struggling. And then we can give them some time in the wellbeing room to calm down and work independently without anybody distracting them. Finally, and I think for the kids, this is probably one of the biggest selling points of my sixth form. That dog in the picture is my dog. She is called Hazy. She is a qualified therapy dog, and she comes into our sixth form every Tuesday and every Thursday. And the feedback that I've had from my current students about the positive impact that she has had on their wellbeing has absolutely blown me away. Like, just seeing a dog in school and being able to have a little bit of a cuddle when they want one has made a huge difference to the wellbeing of our year 12 students. So Hazy will be continuing to attend next year, and she is in over the next 2 weeks on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So your child will have met her and will have had a little cuddle. Organisation is massively important when we get into sixth form, because students are expected to do upwards of 16 hours a week of private study to go alongside their actual lessons. So their organisation is incredibly important. They have private study sessions that are booked in, that are staffed with a member of staff, and then they work independently there. They don't get given daily planners when we are in sixth form, because some students use them, some don't, some prefer to use their phones, etc. And therefore, we don't give them planners, but if they want to buy a planner, they are absolutely welcome. We have organisation sessions, which are intervention sessions that work exactly the same way as the wellbeing sessions. So once a week in 21C, where we give students that maybe require a little bit more support, some more guidance on that as well. Careers wise, you'll have seen this in our prospectus, but this is Miss Jobson's baby. So we've got strands in our sixth form, which all of our subjects match up to. So we have social sciences, PE, art, and then business and finance. On that slide there, you can see that we've spoken about the different careers that those subjects could lead to, so that everybody in our sixth form always has a sense of where they're going and what they're going to be doing next. And that is something that we continuously return to across the course of the 2 years that they are with us. Our pathways, again, you will know this from the induction booklet, but we have our specialist pathway, which requires 5 GCSEs at grades 5 to 9. We have got our professional pathway, which requires 5 GCSEs at grade 4 to 9. And we have our progression pathway, which requires 5 GCSEs at grades 3 to 9. So any subjects that your child has chosen at the moment, if they on results day get higher grades than what they were expecting to get, that is fantastic. They can come and speak to a member of the sixth form team, and we can obviously move them up a pathway if we need to. It also means that if on results day your child doesn't quite get the results that they were hoping to get, we can still, as far as we possibly can, offer them a place here, and that is why we also have our progression pathway in it. If your child is part of the progression pathway, they will remain at the school for 3 years. So they will do their progression year, and then they will do another 2 years either doing professional or specialist subjects. Bursary, and this is, I mean, the kids are already fed up of me talking about this, but if you have not yet completed the bursary form, but your family income is less than £30,000, or you've been free school, your child had free school meals before, or they've been pupil premium at all before, or they are in care or looked after, please, please, please apply for the bursary. Mrs. Whelan's going to send out an email with all of the links on it that you need to complete across the course of the next 2 weeks as parents. The bursary is essentially free money that we will give to your child every single half term that will allow them to buy themselves lunch if they want lunch, although they can access free school meals here. They can use it to buy equipment, they can use it to pay for their travel, etc. So it is absolutely invaluable, and the sooner you apply for it the better, because it means that when we get in September we can start those payments straight away, rather than some of my students currently have only just applied but they've been eligible all year, and then they've missed out on so much of the benefits of the bursary. So our opportunities, we've got a 2-year 21C programme, we've got the student council, so we're going to be picking a new head and deputy head of our senior council once we come in September. They've got that enrichment, they've got that career guidance, they've got that wellbeing support. We have high quality teaching and learning, we've got our sports academies, and finally we've got our partnership with Townley Grammar School. So that is just there to summarise everything I've just said about why it is so good that you have picked King Henry School as the place for your child's sixth form education. Final things then. So uniform donation, I've spoken to the students about this already, but I wanted to mention it on here as well. If you have any King Henry School uniform that you're obviously not going to be using anymore now your child is in sixth form, that you'd be happy to donate, it would be absolutely fantastic for you to send your child in with that, so that we can start collecting it for students that maybe need it, have outgrown their uniform because of COVID, etc. And we're seeing a bigger and bigger demand for that. So any uniform that you would like to donate, please just send in with your child. We won't think it's strange. We know exactly what it's for, and we will collect that and we will wash it, and then we can support other students in the school with that. Summer work. So the students have already started working on their summer work. They've in their private study sessions that they've had across the course of these 2 weeks. There is a set of study work that they need to complete for every single one of their subjects. That will be 3 subjects that they're taking. And in order for them to have the absolute best start in sixth form when they arrive in September, we really do advise that they have completed all of that work by the time they join us. obviously we appreciate that sometimes like that you've got holidays and things like that booked. That's absolutely fine. It's not huge amounts of work, but what it does allow is for the students to feel like they're not completely lost when they're stepping into that classroom when they come in September, especially if it's a new subject. The key dates for you are on here. So obviously we've got the sixth form induction fortnight at the moment. You've got the sixth form welcome evening, which is this evening, and this is being uploaded onto the website. There are some forms that I'm going to talk to you about on the next slide, some forms that we just need to be completed by the end of this 2 weeks of induction. They are to help us with the admissions process, and they're also to make sure for us that you as parents have understood the expectations of the sixth form students, that you understand what the connotations are if the sixth form students do not follow those expectations, and they pretty much match up with what we've already asked the students to complete as well. So the forms are going to come out from Mrs. Whelan by email today. And there will be 3 of them. There'll be the bursary form on there again, just in case you haven't filled it out yet and you need to. There will be our admissions form, which is sort of a collection of details. We're just basically confirming that your details that we have for you at school are still the same details as you will have next academic year. And finally, there is our sixth form induction pack that the students have had to read through, and they will sign tomorrow morning. But I've created a parent version for you as well, so that you can see what the students are agreeing to when they join our sixth form, and you can just tick to say, yes, this is understood and we are happy to support the school. Nothing in there will be of surprise to you or anything like that. But if you do have any questions, please feel free to email Mrs. Whelan, myself, or you can email sixthform@kinghenry.org.uk. Thank you ever so much. And your children over the last 2 days have been absolutely stunning. They've been so well behaved, they've been so polite, and they are an absolute tribute to you as their parents. So thank you so much, and we are very, very excited for September next year.